What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Humble Way checking in with you. I actually watched Doug Is Wrong full 1 hour and 24 minutes of Tua's rookie footage breakdown on his game film. Um, to me, it was excellent. A lot of uh, lot of good throws, a lot of solid, um, lot of solid decisions that he actually made in terms of throwing the ball deep. Um, he made accurate throws when he need. He made some incredible throws. He also had some throws that were either too far in front of the receiver or an inch or two off here and there. However, let me say this, um, which I think I stated in other videos I made, but to all you guys that are biased about Tua's play and how he performs and stuff like that, you have to understand the concept of football. It is a team acclimated sport. It's not like basketball where you can individually take over a game. So if for some reason his line is, which you look, if you go look at Dougie East Wrong breakdown, Tua's line is trash. Granted, it's off. It was three rookies on the line, but it's also two veterans who most of the season didn't do shit. Blown coverages, blown assignments where they let the guy go free. They got more free rushes than a Black Friday sale at Walmart. So I mean, Tua, he gonna do what his offensive line allows him to do. With that being said, it also affects his throwing motion, how he anticipates things, how he sees, players being wide open. There was in the film it shows players that were open, but he missed them because he could feel the pressure around him. If you give him a pocket, I'm not saying to give him 8 seconds to throw. That's unrealistic, but give him at least 3 seconds max to throw or to find the open guy, because he can do it. I mean, he's made two horrendous decisions, but outside of that, he can actually find the open guy and get the ball to him. Um, I think that his rookie season, I think it was solid, given what he had to work with. No running game to speak of. I'm not gonna call his receivers subpar. Most of them are, but Gesicki and Parker, they make plays when they have to, but they're not the dynamic receiving core that Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelsey or Stephon Diggs is, or even Devontae Adams. Two of these had one solid receiver that you'll say, okay, Devontae Smith has to demand that attention from the DBs or from the defense. They have to know where he is at all times on the field, like a Devontae Adams, like a Julio, like a Calvin, like a Michael Thomas. Um, who else? Um, the Waller kid from Las Vegas. Players like that, where the defense has to respect what's on the outside. They have to know where he is and not let that, destroy them. So, from that perspective, um, the breakdown was good. Um, I think that he has things he has to work on, but if you give him things around him, a supporting cast, where it's not all on him every single game in and game out, because some of the hits he took, especially the Denver game, they were out to hurt him. It wasn't in Doug's film, but I think the last sack he took or the last hit he took when he got rid of the ball, the dude dove with his legs, literally dove with his legs to take his ankle out, which was surgically repaired in college. So they're out to try to hurt him as much as they can. And the Raiders game, same thing. Like they got to the point where they started hitting him high, and they started to get to him because he started missing open people. But that's again goes back into the team concept, the idea that if everybody does their job, then the offense flows. You're not gonna score every possession. That's unrealistic. However, if you're on the field for 5-6 minutes at a time, realistically, and you're giving your defense a chance or you put yourself into the red zone or into, if you flip the field, pretty much you're doing that flip the field game, your defense won't be exposed as badly because the Dolphins don't have a dynamic defense. Their whole defensive package was predicated on pressure and turnovers. So as you saw in the Buffalo Bills game, when they couldn't produce like that, they got one interception by Byron Jones, which he jumped around and picked it. But other than that, that's how they get their points. So if they can't get a turnover, and they can't generate pressure with their front four, so you see what happens. Josh Allen looked like he was back there just, he was basically watching a movie, looking out the curtain, just waiting for the receiver to get separation and put the ball right there. And as Doug said, which I saw it myself, like a minute and a half left in the second quarter, he drove 4 plays for a touchdown. I think it might have been like a 32-yard bomb to John Brown. He literally teased that secondary. It got so bad he was like, I don't want to go back in, but the coach insisted he score again, just to put him up 28-3, just so that Tua would have to play catch up the rest of the way. Which the second half, they pretty much put him out their misery. I mean, because at that point Tua was just throwing the ball anywhere. He didn't really give a care. It was more like I'm just gonna sling it now. Which the games I saw all his 9 games, every one of them. He has a cannon. So this whole notion that he's not like Josh Allen, he don't have to be 6'5". The boy can sling the damn ball. When he was healthy at Alabama, that's what he did all the time. He threw deep. He can also throw short. He can also throw to the sidelines. He can do it all. It's not like he can't. And his motion and his range, his ability to get out of pressure, he showed it. The Arizona game, the Chargers game, he showed it in glimpse against Denver, against Kansas City, against the Bills. But he also has plays where he, doesn't read the pocket awareness like he should, like the Raiders game where he ran right into the defender. Had he just stayed where he was, he would have been good, but he didn't do it from the anticipation of pressure that was already mounting around him. So he went to the left, which is his dominant side, and got sacked. That happens. Again, he's a rookie. And where do we get now crucifying rookies after their first season? That makes no sense. We want to label them a bust because they didn't produce this and produce that. Hell, whether you like it or not, he's 6-3 as a starter. Whether you like it or not. He's not the core reason why they didn't make the postseason. But he contributed to a lot of those wins that they accumulated. Because over the last 9 starts, he's 6-3, which says to me that, hey, he's doing his job. He may not have the dazzling numbers of 300-plus yards. Because even in the beginning, myself, I was saying he's going to throw for 200-300 yards a game. That was being unrealistic because of the speed of the game, the coverages, the anticipation, all that stuff. Also, the fact that he had a young offensive line, no running game to speak of, and the receivers, sometimes they were running routes, sometimes like they were jogging. Because the one deep pass he threw to Preston Williams against the Cardinals, I saw this play. Preston like he was jogging. And I'm saying to myself, as he threw it, and Preston saw that he threw it right in front of him, I'm like, if you're still running full speed, you got a touchdown. You're going to catch that in stride and keep going. Now, see, Devontae Smith, you put him over there in that situation, Devontae going to keep running full speed. Against LSU, you saw in Bryant-Denny Stadium, he literally ran past the corner, Tua threw it. He just kept running underneath the ball, caught it, and took off. He didn't even actually slow down. He just caught it and kept going. So, I'm saying to the Dolphins, build around him. All this Watson talk, if you go get Deshaun Watson and you have nothing for him to work with, what are you really doing? Because he can stay in Houston and have Will Fuller. He can stay there. Because the Dolphins don't have a whole lot. They have a very, very young offensive line. I don't think that boy wants to come and get beat up. Because he has to constantly get out of the pocket and razzle-dazzle and take hits because the offensive line on defensive stunts, they can't pick up the right guys. 3 people against 1 person. And 1 person standing around and 1 person allowing 2 people to come up straight to the quarterback. Like, come on. the communication has got to be up front. You got to be talking. If you don't talking at all, I don't know what the hell y'all out there doing. Why you getting paid to block? Because clearly the defense is confusing the shit out of y'all with simple stunts. They're dropping two people back, and the other two people just waiting for one person to get all the attention. They just go right to the quarterback. It's like a little gap or a tunnel right to the quarterback. And I'll be damned, Tua started a lot. And even when he had pressure, he was completing passes, getting hit in the chops, throwing passes, completing them for first downs. But I've read on so many different comments, I don't know how many times I've told people, I don't know what the hell you seeing. He don't check down every single fucking play. And I'm sorry, for the language, but he doesn't check down at all. That's not what he is. As a matter of fact, he hates to check down. The check down can be open all day long. Tua's not going to take it all day. He takes it when he wants to take it. He rarely checks down. The touchdown he threw to Gaskins against the Raiders, that was why he checked down, because they didn't get the space needed for him to put the pass. I'm pretty sure he was looking to go up the field, and that was at the 10-yard line. I'm pretty sure he was looking for somebody to separate. He would do it to them, but he saw, all right, well, the play is designed for the check down, so I'm going to check it down. Gaskins broke, 2 tackles, and he was in the end zone. But Tua's not a check down quarterback. And if you go watch Dougie Is Wrong film breakdown, you will see that numerous occasions he threw the ball down the field, which I've seen the live game, and he threw it down the field several damn times. My only issue with people that say that is, okay, so if he doesn't throw it down the field and he just does check downs, then you have a legit argument. But in those games that he was playing, he was not looking to check it down. As a matter of fact, his favorite target is either Preston Williams or Mike Gronkowski. He's half the time Devontae is just decoy, because he's not even trying to get off his defender. And when he does, he makes the catch. Granted, yes, he'll make difficult catches. Easy stuff he drops. Like the end zone pass against the Chargers, he clearly dropped the ball, and Tua put it right in his damn hands as he jumped to go get it. He still dropped the ball. So it's a give and take thing. Like next season, I think he's going to vastly improve, incredibly. I think he's going to put up somewhere around the ballpark of 3,000, maybe 3,500 yards, 28, 29, maybe 30 touchdowns. Minimum, I'm going to say 25, minimum. Max, I'm going to say maybe 30 or 31 touchdowns. But he's going to put up 3,000 plus yards next season with a 70 or 67. I'm gonna say 65 completion percentage throughout the season. I'll say, like I said, 25 at the most, 30 touchdowns, maybe. I'll say 6 picks. So 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for next season. And I think their record's gonna be 11-5. I can see them making the postseason, and then come postseason, we'll see what type of quarterback he really is, which I think the bigger the game, the better he performs. So, wild card, he's going to get the best from people. I think he's going to show up. I think he's going to win his first postseason game. Now, once he gets the division round, I think he's going to lose, but I think that you will see, well, we have something to build on now. You know what I'm saying? If he does have, it depends on who they play in the wild card, and it depends on if it's at home or away. If it's away, on a wild card, he's going to struggle, but I think he's going to find a way to win that game as long as his defense does their job. If they don't abandon him, like the Buffalo game, if they don't abandon him completely, then he'll find a way to win that game for them. The division round, if they don't, I think in order for him to have a decent start to a postseason career, the first game should be at home. So that would be my primary focus, to get a home wildcard game to give him that boost of confidence going forward in the next round, because they'll have to go on the road. So wherever they go, whether it be, Baltimore, Kansas City, or whatever, let's just say, for sake of argument, they go to Baltimore next. Can they beat the Ravens? Absolutely. They can beat the Ravens in divisional. They beat them, this is all hypothetical, by the way. They beat them to go into the AFC Championship game, who they got to see? Kansas City. That's going to be an epic showdown, because I feel like Long term, I feel like Tua's gonna be much better than Josh Allen because I saw some traits from Josh Allen in that AFC Championship game that shows me that he's a very, very sore loser. He's just like that of Tom Brady, a very big sore loser, but a great competitor nonetheless. Except Tom Brady has more class on the field because Josh Allen threw the ball at a defender's head as he got sacked. Come on. So, and Tua, if he loses, he can go to the middle of the field, shake your hand, talk to you, dap you up. You know what I'm saying? Good game. Chop it up with you a little bit. Then he goes to the locker room. But he has that grace about himself when he loses. Yes, it hurts, but he's still willing to go and shake your hand. He's not going to be a little brat and walk to the locker room and leave y'all on the field. Because I heard what Kyler Murray did to Tua. When Kyler Murray lost to Tua Tagovailoa, he walked off the field and went to the locker room. That's a classless act. But I understand, if you want to win all the time, you're not gonna want to be much inclined to shake a person's hand who just beat you. But a part of sportsmanship is being willing to do that act. Because it takes a lot to shake the hand of a man who just defeated you, especially had a much better day than you did. Which that game too was outstanding. That game, the Kansas City game, the Cincinnati Bengals game, the Patriots game, I feel like he played solid in that game as well because he learned from in-game experience what not to do, to prevent causing turnovers, to put the defense in bad spots, which resulted in him having 2 rushing touchdowns in that game because he saw I can't force the ball, so let me juke here and get in the end zone so I can help my team win. And even though he's very self-conscious about his play, which is a great sign of a leader, it also shows that he's actually paying attention to the footage, what they're showing him as he goes to the sideline. And by Fitz being there so he can feed off him, it helps him with the maturity process in the league because it's so easy to get swallowed up by it. But I think so far he's handled it well. I do wish him all the best next season. Like I said, I'll be following every single game next year because from week 1, the anticipation around him is going to be great. But I think he's going to handle it well. Like I said, as long as you get him playmakers, I'm not saying go out there and draft 9 receivers. I'm just telling you get one that's going to be dominant. And Devontae Smith, no matter what nobody says, that kid's going to dominate this league next season. Whoever drafts Devontae Smith better be ready. As long as he can stay healthy, which him get hurt in national championship game, nobody saw that coming. But that's the first time he actually got a serious injury. So if he can, which I know he can shake this off, but once he comes to the league, I think he's going to be a dominant force. People just sleep on him because of his size. He's not Jamar Chase. He's not 6'3", 200-something pounds of bulky muscle. But the kid is a playmaker. The kid can separate way better than Chase can. And he can catch anything in his radius. If you put in his radius, he's going to come down with that ball. And his body torque and control is off the charts. How he contorts his body to stay in bounds to make a play, whether it be a first down or a touchdown. And not to mention the run after the catch and his blocking ability. So he's a complete receiver. I'm just hoping Brian Flores is willing to pull that trigger to give Tua 10 solid years of a receiver that's going to be there in the trenches with him. And hopefully they'll go get a running back because Myles Gaskin, to his credit, he hit over 500 yards this season, but he was inconsistent. He had games where he didn't get over 60 yards. You can't have a ass running game. You can't have that. It can't always fall on passing. As great as Tua's going to be, he's going to need that running back to help him out, especially in tough games like against the Denver Broncos pass rush. They could have been eating them up with runs, but because they didn't have a run game, the front 4 had a feast. Same thing with the Raiders. The front 4 had a feast. So don't sit here and place every single thing at Tua's feet, because the elements around him aren't doing their job either. And Tua, he does make mistakes. Yes, I'm going to sit here and tell you, He's not a perfect quarterback, and I don't want him to be. I'm not asking him to be that. I know he's capable of doing great things, but I also understand that, he's going to make hasty decisions. He's going to make some bad decisions from time to time, but he learns, and he's hungry to get better. If he let plays get to him or let missed throws get to him, then you worry. But he shrugs it off, goes to the sideline after he either converts the first down or scores or whatever. He goes over the footage to see where he messed up, to see where he can find an open guy, to see where, this coverage is or that busted coverage is or whatever. And he goes back out there and he tries to execute it. And sometimes I feel like the passes he throw be pinpoint, like the deep passes. Some of them was on the money. Few of them he threw it, over the receiver's head or whatever. Like the Denver game, where he threw it from literally the 6-yard line to the other side of the 40. Actually, the other side of the other side of the opponent's 30. There was nearly 60 yards he threw. Actually, no, I take that back. That was a 70-yard bomb he threw to Grant that barely missed his hands. He threw like 2 yards in front of Grant, and Grant was going full speed. No, actually, Grant did a stutter at the 35. Then he kept going past the 40, past the 50. By the time he got to the 30-yard line of the opponent, the ball had hit at the 28, which means Tua threw like a 68-yard bomb to Jakeem Grant. Where had Jakeem just been going full speed, he would have caught that and probably kept going. So he has the arm strength, the accuracy. He can elude pressure. Does he take sacks unnecessarily sometimes? Absolutely. Does he place the ball in danger from time to time? Absolutely. But they're all learning curves. And to me, given the state of his injury and the probability they was throwing at him about how he might not be able to start or play or whatever, or how he might not be able to impact the team, he did a great job of just leading that offense. And to the 3 players that were unanimous talk about they didn't see nothing, go back and look at the footage. Go back and look at the film. He had a solid season. And I do believe next season he's going to put the NFL on notice. Because Tua has a lot that he's going to be showing next season. And I expect most of those games to turn out as a win. Because now that he went through the ringer as a rookie, his second year, he's going to be more poised to know where to put the ball at. He's going to be able to get them lined up correctly, make the right plays, maybe even audible out of plays that he feels the defense is trying to take advantage of. And he's going to show you the full gamut. And he's only going to get better. Because his trajectory can't go nowhere but up. You guys already flattened him. By calling him a bust, he's literally right there. Like, at the bottom. So where else can he go but? And believe me, he's going to work his ass off as soon as they open back up the facility. Because he has a lot that he wants to prove. He left a lot to be desired on that field. And he knows it. I'm pretty sure he goes back and check out the film himself at his house. Pretty sure he's reading the playbook, getting familiar with whoever is going to be hired as the OC. I'm pretty sure as soon as that dude's hired, Tua's going to be calling him to get familiar with him, to understand what he wants, what he likes, what he's going to be calling, sets and stuff he likes to run and all that kind of stuff. So I expect great things out of this offense next season. But I do expect this draft that they go out and get actual playmakers that not only fit the system but can also elevate it to make it better, to make people respect the Dolphins offense. Because last season, they wasn't much to be feared. I mean, at best, they made plays because of defenders being out of position. But come postseason time, that's going to be eradicated because most defenses don't make the same mistakes all the time. You have some that do, and that's why they get put out of the game or put out the playoffs. But for the most part, the teams that make it to the end, they make the plays when they have to. When the game is hitting certain moments, they make those plays to shift in that direction, which I think Tua's gonna make a great splash next season. As long as he can stay healthy. If they can get him through a full season where he's healthy, where he doesn't take as many hits, or his body doesn't give up or whatever, I'm just praying that he has a total healthy season. You know, of course he's gonna get nicked and banged up from hits and stuff, but where he doesn't break nothing or tear nothing, it's gonna be amazing to watch him do his thing. And hopefully he have Smith out there to throw the ball to. So my next video that I'm gonna put up, I'm actually gonna be talking about the Brooklyn Nets, the Clippers, and the Lakers, and who I see making the NBA Finals. You know, even though that's a while away, but I'm gonna break down what I see with the Brooklyn Nets. Well, I guess up to this point, because I did another video about that they need help, but that from the last 2 or 3 games, they've seemed to figure it out, but you can tell there's still chemistry issues, even though they got back-to-back victories. But they're giving up 120 points a game. That's got to stop. But let me not get sidetracked off of that. Let me not talk about that. Like I said, Tua's gonna be fine. I know guys are saying, but he's not showing me this and he's not showing me that, and they get on my channel, talking about, well, he's still a bust, humble warrior. He still can't do this and do that. He's not Josh Allen. Okay, does he have to be? No, but the noodle arm comments, the slow, not agile. He has no shaking motion or nothing like that. The boy can actually escape. He can juke people. He can literally play with a defense with his eyes. And this quick head motion to snap his head back to where he wants to throw the ball to. And the hit he took against Kansas City, he didn't even snap his damn head. He literally got hit and he threw the ball right where Jakeem Grant was, right behind the linebacking section. Which the linebacker didn't even see that Tua saw Jakeem Grant behind him. So he's evolving. He's getting better. Like I said, he has stuff he has to work on, clearly. I mean, he had receivers he missed and stuff like that, but he's still getting better. And that's all you can ask for. That's the main reason why Flores said that next season he's going to be the starter. Quiet as kept, they actually going to go with Tua because of what they see in him and his potential and what he's going to become. Because the Dolphins are going to be a legitimate AFC East contender for a long time to come. Hell, next season they might even make the jump to win the division. Because I think they owe Buffalo a beat down. Because the last game of the season was BS. But that's okay. I hope that game gives the Dolphins all the motivation they need. Because they can beat them. Well, if they can beat them twice, then they own the division. Because the Jets are trash and so are the Patriots. So if they beat the Bills twice, then that gives them a home game basically for the wild card. Which in Hard Rock Stadium, it gets loud there. And it gets very hot. So that gives them an advantage already for whoever comes down there to play them. Especially in the fall, come postseason time. But that's it, guys. I'll just give my thoughts on the video. Shout out to Dougie Is Wrong. Great YouTuber. He's already over 20K. Keep subscribing to him. Keep, commenting, liking and stuff. For one, I support him. Pretty soon, I guess I'll start donating to his page. If you like what you heard, comment, subscribe. I'm working on the intro, guys, because, the straight just coming in talking, it's okay, but I'd rather have some type of musical intro or, just something to, like, appease people to actually want to check out my channel more. So I'm going to be working on that. Maybe give me some ideas in the comments, just to help me get that off the ground and running. But, all right, guys, take it easy. Peace.